By 1921, while Montana had Charlie Russell, Sheridan, Wyoming had its own local legend, Bill Gollings. The connection was even deeper for Sheridan schools. The first paintings were purchased around the same time that local sports headlines were proclaiming that as Ty Cobb was beginning to slow up, a younger player named Babe Ruth was laying claim to the title as the nation's greatest baseball player. To put it another way, the first few paintings were purchased before the old Sheridan High School that was torn down a decade ago was yet to be built. The first hint at a plan for the Sheridan schools to own Gollings' works comes from an article in the Sheridan Enterprise from May 14, 1921. According to the article, about a year ago, the Taylor Parent-Teacher Association began talking and planning of the purchase of a Gollings picture to hang in the school, and it was unanimously voted that each of the schools in the city planned to purchase one of the pictures by the Wyoming popular artist. After a conference with Mr. Gollings, he agreed to paint a picture for each of the schools. The John S. Taylor School was the first local school to purchase a Bill Gollings painting. In May of 1921, the John S. Taylor Parent-Teacher Association purchased The Trouble Message for $150. $100 was raised by the PTA, and the additional $50 was funded by the school district. In today's money, that would be around $2,000. The Trouble Message is the oldest of the works once owned by the local school district and was finished by Gollings in 1913. Prior to being displayed at the John S. Taylor School, the painting gained prestige by spending time at the Wyoming State Capitol in 1917, following the election to governor of local rancher John B. Kendrick. As you can see, the Trouble Message comes in the form of an arrow highlighting a time period in which safe travel in the West was not always guaranteed. This building is sadly the only remaining school building from this era and can be still found on Main Street. In the fall of 1921, the Linden School gathered the funds necessary and became the second school to purchase a Gollings painting. To secure these funds, students in the domestic science and art classes at the Linden School and the ladies of the PTA made gifts to sell during their November Bazaar and drama production. Over $300 was raised, giving the school enough money to purchase 2 paintings. In February of 1922, a cordial invitation was extended to not only the mothers in the Linden district, but all mothers of the city to choose from among 5 Gollings paintings which 2 would be purchased. As noted in Gollings' diary entry from February 10, 1922, the Linden School purchased 2 paintings for $275. The first painting was a 1915 piece known as A Bad Actor, also referred to as Hanging It to Him, and the second, a 1921 piece known as Designers of Trouble, but also referred to as The Trouble Hunters. In January of 1925, Gollings began working on a new painting he intended to submit to Coffeen Elementary School. On March 31, 1925, Gollings finished The Trapper's Return, which was purchased by the Coffeen School. In April of 1925, Gollings wrote a description of The Trapper for the students at Coffeen School. Gollings described the painting and the trappers who were no longer mentioned in histories as
those whose mission on earth really found the way for the advance of civilization. His life was one of freedom.
According to Gollings' handwritten notes, this painting depicts one of these historical characters, men who, as Gollings described,
rendered service to the Army, immigrants, Mormons, gold seekers, and explorers. We find the names of Carson, Bridger, Baker, Williams, Hamilton, Coulter, and others to whom the West was an open book, long before the days of Buffalo Bill.
Bill Gollings no doubt wished to inspire young patrons through his works hanging in schools throughout the city of Sheridan. In fact, one local student who enjoyed hanging out in Gollings' studio was future Sheridan artist Bernard Thomas, whose murals can still be seen in downtown Sheridan. While Gollings' work now had a foothold in 3 of Sheridan's local schools, his work was not yet done.